Hello friends, Dr. Nels here, coming to you this week with information on how to kill the statement in your organization of, I didn't know. Hello friends, Dr. Nels here, coming to you this week with more information on life, leadership, business, and family, helping build your values and principles so that you can be the best version of you. And I don't know about you all, but years ago, to be exact, about 21 years ago, when I first started leading this organization, my right-hand woman and sister named Jill would come to me in scenarios and say, I didn't know. And, we were pushing hard, going hard, we were growing things, and things got busier, and my communication wasn't always up to snuff, and I'd be talking to this person about doing X, Y, Z, and this person about doing X, Y, Z, and scheduling this, and doing that. And one of my key leaders, I wasn't communicating well enough with, and I would get this periodic, well, I didn't know, or sometimes stated it in the tone of I didn't know and being left out. And so there's a lot of different scenarios when people say, I didn't know, whether it was your wife or your husband or your kids or someone that you're leading or your team that you're leading, that would say, I didn't know. And Jill said it to me often enough. It got me irritated, but it also made me mad because I didn't like that. And it wasn't that I didn't want her to know. My communication style and my leadership ability at that point just wasn't good enough. And we weren't having any meetings. We were growing and doing things, but I wasn't keeping the team up to date on current things, current events, and things going to happen in the next week, today, the next 2 weeks, the next month. And they didn't know enough, which in turn allowed them to not be prepared enough for what we were looking at doing that day, next week, 2 weeks, month, 6 months. Now, some people operate from a leadership perspective of you're on a need-to-know basis, and I've seen that enough, especially in corporate type settings. I understand that to a certain degree, but people want to know. They want us to be wildly transparent with them. And again, I understand some things maybe people don't need to know, but in here, in other places I'm coaching, pretty much most everything needs to be known by everybody. So everybody can be pulling on the same rope in the same direction all day, every day, this week, next month, and in 6 months. And the more transparent we are about everything taking place that day, this week, next month, 6 months, the more your organization can help row the boat in the same direction to help propel you in the trajectory it needs to go to get there. And so if you're hearing the statement in your organization, the I didn't know statement, then we've got work to do. You've got work to do. And totally lose the thought of you're on a need-to-know basis, or the thought of some people think over-communication is wasting this person's time because it has nothing to do with them. It's wasting this team's time because it has nothing to do with them. But the reality in every organization, there are different departments, right? And so for here, you have front end, you have techs, middle end, you have large animal, you have kennels, we have equine, we have all these different departments. Also then a veterinarian sector, and there's things going on in different locations that may not directly involve the team, in the middle at that point in time, but somehow it might, or better yet, it gives every department some information on what's going on that maybe they can help execute when they need more help in another department. Or that execution item in this department may affect this department in a very indirect way, not a direct way, but an indirect way. And the more information we can give from a 30,000 foot view on what's taking place across the entire organization, the better people can anticipate, right? Yes.
Okay, two-part question. So I would assume that it's easy as a leader, especially when you were talking about with you and Jill, early days, that it's easy to make the assumption that because people are in proximity to you, that they already know.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So how much of the onus is on the leader to communicate, but also from the person who needs to know to ask the questions that they give them the answers they need to know?
Well, it's on both sides, right? It's the onus is on the leader, but then the onus is also on the team member that's part of the team. And if they don't know, then they need to ask, whatever it might be. If they're not sure, if they're unsure, if they don't know something, they need to ask. And so, to your point, though, in scenarios I coach, some teams could be 100-person team, another team could be 10, and another team within the team could be 3. And so what I coach for all teams of all sizes is at minimum have a daily huddle, a daily stand-up, every single day with your team. 3, 10, I was 100, that may not happen, right? But most people can effectively lead 10 people, so whatever levels those are at, most hierarchy needs to go, this person leads 10, this next level, they lead 10 of these leaders, right? So on and so forth. And you need some sort of a daily huddle, even if it's 3 people, because if it's proximity, everybody's like, well, we're talking, everybody knows what's going on. Well, I understand that, but in a formal setting, daily, what are our objectives for the day, right? And the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why. Who is doing what? When are we doing it? Why are we doing it? So on. And then the H, the how are we doing it? And in those daily stand-ups, it's more formal, it's very clear, it's done quickly, it's done swiftly, to the point, and everybody's extremely clear. And whoever the team members are, they need to also be engaged, listening, asking questions, because when the meeting's over, everyone needs to be crystal clear on the 5 W's and the H. And if someone's not clear, that needs to be solved very quickly then, and then you walk out and you leave aligned. Obviously the day flows and all hell breaks loose and emergencies happen and the phone call, things happen, or feed yards or whatever it is, things change, and then you have to communicate through the day to be efficient, to keep people in the know, transparent, and keep things moving forward. Did I answer that question? So there was a little bit of everything in there. All of this was to kill the statement, I didn't know. And so I arrived there 20 years ago because my right-hand woman was saying it. And at first it pissed me off because I was a terrible leader. Then I grew to be like, oh, well, she needs to know. And she needs to know. And if it's still pissing you off and be like, well, it doesn't affect you, well, you're wrong. Bring them up to speed, be transparent, bring the entire team up to speed on the 5 W's and the H, and do it daily. And furthermore, our episode last week was on killing gossip, eliminating gossip. When we do that, or if we don't communicate well, if we're not overly transparent, then it creates people asking others out in the wild, in the business or the team, well, what's going on, or what's happening, or why is she here, or why are they doing that, why is he doing that? So it all goes hand in hand in an effort to not only kill the I didn't know statement. In the end, you're also really targeting killing gossip. And if you do that every day, repeatedly for years, massive growth will happen, but you will damn sure kill the I didn't know statement. So I hope you've liked this information. Click subscribe here. Thanks for joining us, friends. We'll see you next week.